Noontime hour. Zolak and Bertrand from our Town Fair Tire Studios. You want the latest? You want the latest?
Nah.
You want to know what it is, so?
Nope.
No?
Sure.
Darren Smith covers the Kansas City Chiefs. He's been a host and reporter covering that team for some time. Darren Smith has revealed in some tweets that The Athletic is supposed to release their findings in a couple of weeks. Tony Farmer tweeted at Darren Smith and said, "Where'd you hear that?" See that? Tony Farmer doing the work. Doing the work. And Darren Smith responded to him and said, "From my colleague at The Athletic." So Darren Smith is saying someone at The Athletic told him that there is findings on the way. Findings are on the way. They are at some point in the next few weeks going to be putting it out there. Whatever it is that they found. That's an interesting thing, isn't it?
Sure is. It's like the Epstein files. Put them out.
I guess my question would be, are they going to go with just we found evidence of an inappropriate relationship? Or are they going to do like a deeper dive in terms of, I mean, do we talk about the voting and awards and all that stuff?
So go back to, like, say, any awards they won or any reports that looked fishy. Like, how did she beat this person to the scoop? Then go back and track records, track emails. Doesn't it make them look bad, though? That the person was working for you? You didn't know this was going on? How much digging do you want to do?
That's why I wonder, are you just going to get, we could not.
That's not the way you handle it. That's not the way you do it in the league. You know?
I mean, I wonder, you got to remember, the only thing we've heard from The Athletic officially is that they backed her. I mean, in a laughable, stupid statement made by that senior editor, I think was his.
Yes, but then when we got the reports that he was under fire from The Athletic after that.
I mean, what a bozo statement that was. Like, stop it.
Probably when it said,
Yeah.
I mean, so 6 other people there, stop it. This is ridiculous.
You're in charge of journalists, and that's the kind of statement you're going to put out? You can't be serious with that.
How much digging you want to do? Because this is your employee.
I wonder. I don't know. I don't know what their appetite is to get into the nitty-gritty details of this.
You could just release a report that says we could not find evidence of friends or anyone else in Arizona with her.
I could say, the worst thing I guess they could say is that we couldn't get to the bottom of it because, okay, what's the point of you saying this then? And then the part 2 would be because she wouldn't cooperate and did not cooperate or didn't answer our questions or something along those lines. They could make her look worse in that way, but I don't think it does any more damage. The damage is done.
I mean,
or they're going to go all in and be like, this was a disaster. And, don't bother coming after us for any of the leaks that you were upset about that we were conducting an investigation. My guess is they won't do that, though. I'm surprised they're even going to do it. I sort of won't believe it until I see it.
I'm kind of with you on that.
They could just fade to black here. Like,
she's no longer an employee.
Exit stage right.
Yeah.
Ooh, Athletic.
Okay,
no,
so-
she used to work here. She quit.
she go back. Like, okay, she said the 2 things were less than one viral. And you had the Max Crosby thing was one thing. I'm trying to think, like, what else? Like, okay, so he won Coach of the Year. Do you have to go back to, like, when he first got the gig? Who was reporting first on that? Who had him going to the Jets? Did he go to the Jets for an interview?
Yes, remember it was at the yeah.
Okay.
Or there was talk about the Jets having interest. I forget what it was, or if there was actually an interview.
I don't know who reported that,
but you're right.
Yeah. And I think that's when they expedited all of their interviews to hurry up and get him in the house. They didn't want to go to Jets.
So now we play the wait and see game.
Yeah.
Or release their findings the day they open training camp. Yeah, just wait. It'll be something absurd like that. Just makes you think there could be more absurd chapters in this book.
How shocked are you going to be?
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're past that point.
I would be surprised if we got text messages where it was like Mike Vrabel telling her to vote for Drake May for MVP or something like that. Wouldn't you?
Like really blow the cover
Yeah.
off this thing.
Like, oh boy.
How would they even uncover that? How would they know?
She left. Yeah,
Text
she left.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
This isn't like some sort of legal criminal investigation.
No,
you
they
know?
You don't think Ted
did not
Wells
break
is
the law.
No.
running this investigation?
No, so I just don't know what it is that they could discover through all of this. Right? What are you going to do? But there could be like something from the Athletic, and that would that surprises me. Frank and Sandwich has something that he believes the Athletic should be looking into. Frank.
Yeah, fake expense reports submitted for travel to be with Vrabel and not doing her job. She could have been putting those in all the time and getting reimbursed for fake expenses. I'd go after that for sure.
But would you put that out there publicly? Would you air that out in a statement?
If they're going to go after her and sue her for them to get it back, absolutely.
They're not going to do that, though. They should want this to disappear as much as she wants.
I'm
it
with
to
you on
disappear.
that. Yes.
Yeah, you funded her.
You
Your
employed,
employee
yeah.
broke the rules, yes.
Yeah, you employed this person. You paid her a massive salary. You brought her in on that contract. And she was working for you while this was going on. And you hired her while this was going on. ESPN is involved in this in a way, too. Like, they've skated. She worked for The Athletic when this happened. But before that, she'd been working for ESPN while this stuff was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When they were out there on the pontoon boat, motorboating. When that was going on, she was an ESPN employee. They'll have nothing to say. They're smart. They've stayed below the radar on this one, pretending that none of it has happened. All right. 617-779-0985. More on the A.J. Brown trade that we will get to coming up, including his departure from Philadelphia. And it sounds like Philly is like, oh, so happy to get rid of A.J. Brown. The way Philly talks about this guy. What?
No, just wait till you see what you wish for,
Yeah, and this or that is coming up at 12:50. Who's deciding today which one we're going with? Who's got the final call?
I should have the final call on this one. I've claimed Thursday.
All right.
Today's Thursday.
You been doing work?
No.
Oh. All right.
Brunson or Tatum?
This or that is not about sports. That's not what we do in that segment. You know these things.
You were rifling them off last week.
If you
think about that.
If you had to, you have to be locked in a building with one person for a year.
No. It's at
Paulie
12
or Jake.
It's 12:50. 12:50.
Which one would you take, Con? Neither one would shut up.
Jake. I'm taking Jake.
Jake would know how to get out. He would have connections. Paulie would just talk about the Black Crows in football and hockey. And Boston College.
All right, this or that coming up at 12:50. Stick around for that. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be electric.
There and say you don't understand why it became public knowledge because you made it public knowledge. You're the one. Like, to be fair to both guys, if you and Jalen had a problem, Jalen didn't tell anybody. You were the one that started to act out publicly. You're the one that started to be disgruntled for whatever situation. So don't act like you're talking about. I don't understand why. Everybody was in your business. Hell, you put everybody in your business. I mean, if we're keeping it a bean, when you started acting crazy, well, let me pull that back. When you started acting out, and you started doing things like reading books on the sideline and saying all these cryptic things that you said, people started to ask questions about what was wrong. And for you to say it was going on for 2 years, I understand frustration. I understand that. And, whatever it was that drove you, but for you to sit there and say that you don't understand why people were so enamored with it, we've been through this.
Hugh Douglas talking about A.J. Brown and his departure. Man, they sound happy that he's out of there. Do they not? They're done with this guy down there.
Yeah, it's ran its course. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
It doesn't seem like a healthy relationship down there at all.
No, it doesn't.
They're the most disgruntled winning team I've seen in a long time.
I'm glad the Pats brought him in, but do you blame the Eagles or Eagles fans for feeling that way? It would be
Not
like if you
at
had an
all.
all-pro in 2015 bitching about being on the Pats right now.
The only thing I kind of look at and hear with them that I say, like, all right, give me a break. You've got to admit you're losing a good player.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't they want to sort of acknowledge that? Like, the guy is good.
Well, that's the way I felt like when Diggs left, is that, okay, we got Dobbs in. Can Dobbs duplicate his production? A lot of people think he could go above it. What if he goes under it? You know, that's the fear here. That's what they should fear by losing that player. Now, they've drafted a guy, but you're going to have to get him up and running. I don't know how he's going to get along with the quarterback. Seems like that's a very particular situation that doesn't really favor the receivers there. Quarterback is disgruntled for some reason. I don't know why. I just think he operates the chip that way. He's like Jaylen Brown.
Great story this week from Saad Youssef at The Athletic, just basically doing a full timeline of A.J. Brown in his career, all the way back to when he was drafted in 2019, April of 2019. Brown was tossing a football around with friends and family when then Titans GM John Robinson called to say they were selecting him. Jalen Hurts, who shared a long-standing friendship with Brown, was the first person to congratulate the wide receiver the day he was drafted. The next person to welcome Brown to the NFL was Mike Vrabel, who was then in his second season as Titans head coach. April of 22, a week before the draft, Titans and Brown's agent and his camp were unable to agree on a contract. A week before the draft, Brown had a birthday party for his 2-year-old daughter. And Hurts, the girl's godfather, was in attendance.
That's crazy.
Did anybody know this stuff?
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. Did we all miss this during all the drama there?
That's crazy.
Jalen Hurts, first guy to congratulate him for getting drafted. He also happens to be the godfather of A.J. Brown's daughter.
It's like Tatum Brown and do stuff.
Belichick Mangini, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it
Hurts once tried to recruit Brown out of high school to join him at Alabama. And he had put a bug in the ears of the Eagles brass to get A.J. Brown. Okay. He then gets traded to A.J. Brown. Eagles then post a video the night of the trade with Hurts and Brown on a FaceTime call with each other, laughing uncontrollably. I remember this. Hurts saying, boy, boy, boy. Brown saying, man, let's do it. And Hurts says, say no more. I mean, match made in heaven. Match made in heaven. How about that? 2023 regular season. Brown set career highs in yards and touchdowns. Eagles were not playing well down the stretch, 1-5 in the final 6 games. And Brown didn't top 100 yards in any of the final 5 games. Body language aside, Brown also didn't share his frustrations publicly, declining to speak over and over again with reporters. He went silent. Brown broke the silence before the regular season finale. He said, all you see is A.J. Brown is frustrated, A.J. this, A.J. that. Everybody in this locker room is frustrated, so why are you singling me out? Just because I'm shaking my head or showing emotion? You can look at everybody in the stadium as bad body language. They're frustrated. Okay. 2 years after they trade for him, in 24, they give him the 3-year, $96 million contract extension, his second deal that he got in Philadelphia. Yeah, he signed the extension, then signed another one 2 years later.
Huh.
You go fast forward to December of 24. That's when it started to happen that there were issues between Brown and Hurts. And that's when Brandon Graham came out when he was on WIP. It said, I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying, referring to Hurts. 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. They were friends before this, but things have changed. 2.5 years later, they're now on the outs. They go from being the best of friends. The quarterback gets him there. 2.5 years later, it had all gone to crap in the relationship with the quarterback. 2.5 years. Which is my way of asking this. Does this have a shelf life of 3 seasons at most? Because he's going to be mad about targets or mad at his quarterback or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think it can be.
So you admit the possibility does exist.
Anything exists. Yeah, I mean, these guys are different breeds, man. Like the receivers in the league, going all the way back to T.O., to Keyshawn Johnson, who I played with, always wanted the damn football. And when they didn't get it, they didn't care. I mean, they cared. It pissed them off, even when the team's rolling. And that's where it gets tough on coaches. That's why I don't know a guy like Sirianni can control that.
Then the book reading happened after the end of that regular season playoff game, January 12th of 2025. He's reading Inner Excellence on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Which was honestly...
He should have had a book entitled How to Deal with A-Holes.
I thought that was a great moment. I have no issue with that. I think that, I thought it was kind of comical, obviously, but I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. February 11th, he then puts up that post on Instagram. This was the Super Bowl when he was saying, I've never been a champion at the highest level before, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for this game comes from when I dominate.
That's right. I forgot about that.
2 days after they won the Super Bowl in dominant fashion, he basically said he didn't feel joy for having won the Super Bowl. That should be a red flag. It is. Again, we can talk about these things and still be happy A.J. Brown's on the Patriots. The adults can do that.
It's like the Jaylen Brown stuff. Like, it was my most favorite year, even though we lost. Like, it's the reverse of that.
Fast forward.
It's the individualistic part of it.
That was after the Super Bowl, February of 25-24 season, September of last year, start of last season. He puts the quote on Instagram: if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Had that. October of last season, he put up an Instagram post captioning it with "using me but not using me." This was coming off a win. Brown had 4 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. First time he had a multi-touchdown game since week 8 of 2023. It would have been 2 calendar years since he had a multi-touchdown game. You get to November. He went on a live stream on Twitch, and when asked if everything was good, he said, "No, where have you been?" Like, no, everything's not good. Everything sucks.
Yeah, I think, remember, he had to do like the locker room interviews the day after that. That was a big deal down in Philly, yeah.
He said, like, family good? Yeah. Everything else? No. It's a bleep show. How you been? I've been struggling, brother. But no, my family's great. Personal life, awesome. Professional life blows. The worst.
See, this is where having Sirianni hurts them.
If you got me on a fantasy team, get rid of
That's
me.
right. That's right.
That was
That's
the money
right.
quote
Yeah.
there. He then doubled down. He gets asked about it the next day in the locker room. He doubled down on it. You can't just can't keep slapping a Band-Aid over that and expect to win. That's what he said. It's not going to, it's not to the media. It's not going to effing happen. So at least there he's talking about winning, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. 3 catches and 25 yards in the wild card loss to the 49ers in the playoffs. He had several drops in the game, including one in the fourth quarter. He also had a heated exchange in the first half of the game with head coach Nick Sirianni. Brown then declined to speak after the game. And then here we are, June 1. He gets traded to the New England Patriots.
Yep.
Bleep show. It's a bleep show. Did not like his head coach, did not like his quarterback at the end.
Didn't feel like he respected
despite
the head coach.
Jalen Hurts being the godfather to his daughter. May have been the godfather to his daughter, but he was not a fan of his quarterback by
That
the
went
end.
south.
Went south quickly, very quickly. So those are the things. That's why I think players like this, much like Steph Diggs, there's a timeline and a shelf life to the experience of these players. Doesn't mean you shouldn't target them.
Correct.
You should want them.
Right.
The talent is undeniable. But I think these relationships, after a period of time, they take either heavy management or a departure.
Yeah.
And I think in Philadelphia,
But again,
it
like-
led to a departure. I think for other receivers, I say it all the time, the diva receivers, if it's Diggs, certain amount of time, he's got to go. He's just done. Randy Moss was like that. 3.5 years was his. Got to go.
Window.
Right.
It's over.
But at that time, you had it rolling as a franchise and had tight ends that were ready to take that role, right? You had an offense that could move off of that player. So are you going to be in a position to do that when this dude's time is up?
And you better be. I think that should be factored in. I think we very realistically said you just got to get 2 really good years out of him.
Yeah, because you looked at the money, too. Like, you can move on at the end. And there's
Sure
going to be
can.
another Diggs sitting there. They did it for Diggs for 1 year. And this is where, again, like, you look at Diggs last year. Where was Mike? With him every day, motivating him, being with him. Sirianni doesn't do that stuff. He's kind of along for the ride. He observes and he yells back at people. He's got a hot wick. I think you got a good coach here that will feed that environment to him and make him blend. He'll play hard for Mike. He will.
All right, let's pick it up with your calls. Coming up next, more on A.J. Brown right after this. Let's go to some of your calls on A.J. Brown with Don and Carver. Hi, Don.
What's up, Don?
Hey, listen, Joe, I love your reference to Sirianni with his as a hot wick. That's great.
Thanks. Thanks.
Listen, as far as I love you. You're my pal. You're my chum. You're my friend. But you and Ben Volen with your conspiracy theories, they wanted AJ. They went out and got him. It's over with, done. Has nothing to do with off-field maneuvers or whatever happened. But please let me finish this with this. There was a famous cowboy in the 40s, made about 50 movies, called Wild Bill Elliott. And his line in every movie was, "I'm a peaceable man." And he'd say that before he wrecked the saloons of every bad man that was in it. Well, I've got a line of my own, and it's, "Holy mackerel there!"
Okay, he's going back to that one. He said they wanted A.J. Brown. Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course. I don't think that that's what's being debated when it comes to the ties to the possibility of the Vrabel Russini drama motivating them to do this deal. That's not. I don't think anyone's saying that. Let me play it out. If it's and it is possible that it had a factor. Play it out. Ready? Rams are out on Brown after talking with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots are in on Brown because they obviously want the player. And Howie tells them, here's a deal. 1 and a 5 gets this thing done. Anything less than that, I'm calling everybody else in the rest of the league, and I'm going to try and get something done. And you'll be bidding with everybody else. What if, because of the spot they were in when this conversation took place, with the constant, every day, for hours, conversation about Vrabel Russini, they said, you know what? Yeah, fine. It's fine. We're not gonna screw around on this one. We know we want the player. If the price that we know we have to pay to end the conversation, let's say it took place in April, sometime around the draft for the post-June 1 deal. Think back to what the hell was going on in April. If you believe the deal's been done for months, you must also then believe that what was going on a couple of months ago could have impacted their thinking. That every day they were in the headlines for something new with Mike Vrabel and his gal pal, Dianna Russini. Where Howie says, listen, this is the price. I just talked to the Rams. They were willing to go for a 1. Ended up not working out. You want him? Let's just do a deal right now. Here's the price. Pay the price. Yes or no? You tell me no, I start calling everybody else. What will you do? What would you do in that spot? You'd say, damn, we really need this. We need this for a lot of reasons. We like the player. We want the player to begin with. Let's just pay what they're asking, get it over with, and know we've got that coming on June 1st. That couldn't have happened? That's not possible?
I think it's more likely that happened for football reasons, though, than Russini reasons.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair, too.
We can't go into this season without this guy for Drake May. We can't roll with Romeo Dobbs and what we're
But talk of people down there seeing Dobbs, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not great. It's okay. So if you're sitting there and you're looking at it, you know Booty wants out. You've got Hollins. You know what he is. You know? Go get him.
It's not like wild tin hat conspiracy, though, to say, man, everything that had been going on in the offseason may have just provided the extra motivation to be like, let's just get this thing over with.
Can't afford to lose him. Yeah.
Can't afford to lose on this one. This is a must for, again, multitude of reasons. But the biggest one is football. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I'm talking about what they paid and the price and not putting up a fight.
If they agreed to it in April, yeah, I could tend to agree. My issue with the Volan thing is, do you think he was going to get asked one Russini question on Tuesday?
No.
If they had not traded for AJ Brown?
He had just spoken, a week ago?
I'm with you.
And he barely got asked about it. Wait.
Yeah, I think it was a week ago.
Yeah, it was a week ago. But he spoke a time before that, and he did get asked about it.
Yes. But this Tuesday, like him talking about how he had a press conference coming up on Tuesday, and because of the AJ Brown thing, that was everything.
Actually, now that I'm thinking back, he did get asked about it a lot last week. That kind of got it out of the way.
Yes.
That was last week. I'm confusing of the times he spoke.
I don't think he needed cover for Tuesday anymore. I think that everyone had kind of moved on from that story. You're not going to the podium and getting asked those questions right now if you're Mike Vrabel.
Because there's nothing new. Until there's something new. Right.
They did ask about the time away. That was last week. And day 3 of the draft, all that stuff. That was last week. It's just so hard to keep up with it.
Well, the question was, do you foresee yourself coming up? Is there any time you're going to have to step away from the team? And he said, hey, I don't know what tomorrow brings. Yeah, anything can happen. That was kind of a different type of answer.
Weird answer.
Yeah, it was. Because I kind of left it out there like, hey, I don't know what's coming down the road.
Yeah, he's not projected great confidence when he speaks on the matter. And maybe that's by design.
Well, because, what's there to be confident about?
Well, you could confidently say, I don't foresee myself missing any more time. We're gearing up. We're getting ready to go.
Well, you hope so, but you hope the wife doesn't give him an ultimatum. Like, hey, I need this time now. Like, there's things that can happen in families. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. Something happened to where he had to go leave the draft.
So, how far does the ultimatum... The ultimatum, in theory, conversation go? And there's an ultimatum that he has to go to counseling on the day of the Wednesday night opener. No, I'm serious. Like, how far does that go?
I don't know.
No, she decides the best programs are on Sundays.
Yeah, you just can't call the shots like that, too. You got to work it out. To be fair.
Right, which is why you should be able to confidently say, I don't foresee myself missing any more time. But he didn't.
Right.
Which just leads to, what the hell else is going to happen here? He didn't say that. He should have said that, even if he didn't mean it. He should have said that, even if he didn't know if it was true. Yeah, bad PR all the way around on this story.
They're not wrong about that.
Oh, my God. Disaster on all fronts. He should hire someone for himself, just a crisis person for him. Leaning on her people in the beginning, as it's been rumored. A terrible idea. Tell them our friends were there. It was a big friends party. We went hiking.
I knew that right away.
Like, come on.
Be my first stupid answer.
It's outrageous to suggest we were there by
Group
ourselves.
soak, yes.
Let's go to Moody in Gloucester. Hey, Moody.
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. What I wanted to bring up was there's been a lot of commentary on A.J. Brown having a poor attitude or a negative character, but no one really seems to mention that he's been publicly stating since prior to college that he's a diehard Patriots fan. he worked out with the Patriots prior to his draft, and he expected to be drafted by the Patriots. And he was pretty much, I think he was quoted being saying he was devastated they didn't take him and took Tennille Harry instead. He has teammates in Philadelphia that publicly.
Yeah, it's
saying
well
that he was
established that he's a Patriots fan, but why we started yesterday's show with it. Why is that an important element for you?
I just think that the people that are making the assumption that it'd be a poor character on the sideline or in the locker room, I think someone that's wanted to be here for that long or that committed to being for the team wouldn't be a negative issue.
Well, I mean, I hope so. I hope that's the case, that all of his issues that he had with teammates and coaches in Philadelphia don't carry over to anything in New England simply because there's a Pat Patriot on his shirt. I mean, I hope so. I hope that's the case. I hope you're right, Moody.
That relationship with Jalen Hurts seemed pretty strong, didn't it?
Yeah, I would say the godfather of your child is a stronger bond than being a fan of the Patriots. But that's just me. You know, it would just be my assessment of it.
You're right.
Thank you, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Family. Yeah.
And you know who family's important to.
Don't be a dick.
I was going to say Dianna Russini.
Shut up, McCollum.
She's probably got one of those nice stickers on the wall in the kitchen, like faith, family, fun. You know,
Yes.
there's always like 3 words.
Yeah.
Faith, family.
I thought you were going to say the
Coach.
the sticker decals on the back.
with the stick figures, yeah.
Oh, definitely has one of those, too. I wonder if they have a dog. All right, 617-779-0985. This or that is next. That's a prime piece of real estate right here on Zolak and Bertrand. And on these fine airwaves of 98.5 The Sports Hub, simulcast on NBC Sports Boston. This or that without a sponsor still. Every
Maz's
year
tears are sponsored.
we go through this. Every year. And then someone jumps at the opportunity when they hear
We
it's
know you're
available.
out there.
We know you're out
Yeah,
there.
right.
We know you're ready for this. We know you're ready for this.
Call
I gotta
up
think like, call who?
the sales pitch.
Which one?
Call
There's a phone
call
ringing.
Calnan.
He's
I mean,
here again.
give Calnan his due.
He's not here again.
All right? Because the for as much as you talk about him, I know there are people that must be intrigued to know him and talk to him.
He's on a heater right now. I think he hasn't been here like 5 of the last 8 days.
Moscatel is waiting by his
Moscatel's
phone.
never here.
He's waiting by his phone.
What is the handle? What is the Calnan's handle?
I think it's
Boston
Boston _sports
Yeah,
_ sales _
Yes.
I'll call
guy
Christian
_
Boudreau.
Okay.
Radio.
Christian Boudreau. will
Here it
know.
is. Here I have it right here. Boston _ sports _ radio _ sales _ guy _
It's like that
That's
Joe Kim
Yeah.
Taekwondo / karate help.
So again, this is Boston Sports Radio Sales Guy on Instagram. That's where you
Why don't
can
you just
find-
call it that?
That's where you can find Calnan's videos and posts on Instagram.
Make it
Go-
more complicated, Pat. Jesus.
That's what you're looking for.
Right,
Okay?
Carson?
That's how you reach Pat Calnan. That's the guy you want to talk to.
He'll get it done.
He absolutely will.
He's the guy that hit my mailbox.
Sure is. Which
In
is
broad
why
daylight.
people should want to know him.
Broad daylight. Yep.
You can even send him an email. pcalnan at 985thesportshub.com.
And of course, to do an underscore on your phone, you got to hit about 7 buttons.
Yeah, right. That's probably faster. Just send him an
I
email.
thought his name was different. That
Connect
Beasley's
with him
called
on
something different.
Instagram or LinkedIn, or you'll find him. That's Calnan.
Did Brian
Calnan.
Beasley call him Matt?
Give him a ring. That's the sales guy to call today. Okay, that's today's spotlight.
You got a
We
number?
can.
Let's give his cell phone.
No, we're not doing that.
First of all, let him know what this segment is.
Yeah, let him know about this or that. Tell him all. He knows. He's listening right now.
Did he do the
He
6-pack?
definitely is.
He did the
Yes.
6-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets these special segments
Yeah,
sponsored.
good.
And this is a special one today because you're in charge. So what do we got?
This or that. Here we go. So the rest of your life, you can either walk backwards or sprint forward.
Oh my God.
The rest of your life, one or the other.
This is so bad.
Why?
So you could always be moving fast, sprinting,
Forward.
which is
You can't walk forward.
so.
Think of all the situations that's so inappropriate.
I just sprinted down the
Church, I
hallway to
thought of
get
church.
back here on
Yeah,
time.
I thought of church.
Awake.
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, I don't know which one's more inappropriate. Awake.
Oh yeah, walking down the aisle. That's gonna look normal.
Backwards.
Backwards. Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Can you walk forwards, backwards?
No. Nope.
Walking backwards sucks.
Yeah.
So you won't even be able to,
Like if
you're
I wanted to walk
turning
to-
your head, walking backwards all the time.
I can drive backwards now with the cameras in the cars.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea
No.
for you.
If I wanted to walk to Beetle right now, I couldn't.
You would have to walk
I would
backwards.
have to walk
Or
backwards.
sprint.
So you could sprint to
see
Beetle.
T-Bone. I'm like,
All right. Well, how about this?
I think you would get good at it. I think you could get good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait a minute. Or you just sprint. It's
but that-
terrible.
This isn't bad.
It's terrible.
This isn't bad at all.
It's ridiculous.
Whoa. You got to see things differently.
It's horrible.
Which
No
one?
way, no
Wait.
way I'm choosing that.
Which one is more inappropriate though in situations like Awake? I mean, both of those are pretty bad.
So
Okay.
you're not even allowed to take
Well, how about
a
this?
step?
Like
You're
going
just
through the
gonna be-
line, you're sprinting
So-
through the
so how do you
line. People are
take
like, "That guy's."
No, but how do you
They
take
get you out
a
of going to
step
the wake. Can't go to the
sprinting?
wake.
Like, just do it real
But
fast.
it's like an aggressive jump. Yeah. It's,
All right.
yes.
What about skipping? Skipping or karaoke? What about the karaoke?
No.
oh,
There
yeah.
it is.
How about this? I got it.
He's not allowed to do it anymore.
No, I got it.
You're not allowed to do this or that anymore.
Rest of your life, you have to chain. You have to handcuff.
No, it's just
Listen to
sloppy
me.
mess.
You get a 1 foot chain and you handcuff your hands together,
Oh,
or you
my
handcuff your
God.
ankles together.
Have you heard the
would you
segment
do?
when it's at its best?
This is it. Pat Counted, thank you for the support of this or that sponsorship. It's been there for years, Pat. Jesus. Handcuff your feet or your ankles. I mean, or your wrists. Rest of your life. Your feet, right? Because you want your hands free to do everything with. You can still walk. Can't run, but you can walk. You can move. Jesus, why is Capello inside? Ugh. He's already booking dinners for Seattle. So which one are we going with?
We're sprinting. We're sprinting.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to go backwards.
Okay.
I'm not sprinting.
Congratulations.
I'll go backwards.
I think I'm right there with you.
That was fun. Like walking around that way.
Should I pull up the Slack, see if I can get another one here?
I mean,
I've got a bunch of them.
probably if it's good.
How about spaghetti for hair or waffles for hands?
All right. That now just getting absurd now.
He's done.
That's
done.
from Fowler.
He's
by the way.
done.
That's from Fowler.
He's absolutely done. Without a doubt. Man, oh man. All right. Well, I guess that's the segment today. What a letdown. What a letdown.
Sponsor that, Pat.
No, I mean, we just lost so much money as a station because of the damage we've done to
what?
the brand.
There goes the summer of influencers.
I think this might call. I think this might call for a this or that restart.
A full restart
Just a brand new one. Just pretend this segment never happened.
and do it again right now after headlines?
Pretend you don't exist.
Got something else to do?
No.
I didn't think so.
I mean, we owe it to the listeners, man.
Yeah.
If people do enjoy the segment, we can't leave them with this
I think
for the day, considering we don't do it every day now. Okay?
that's why this should be like they should all be good.
All right, we'll do headlines and we'll come right back with this or
What about
that.
shoes at the beach?